Everything in your life happens for a reason. Your responsibility is to look at these things in your life and ask this question: why now?
You need activation energy to start the chain, to start to sit down, to start to get out of bed, to start to walk out the door. That's the key to creating any kind of change. This activation energy inside of you that causes the initial boom. And then what do we hear over time? Once you start, there's a chain reaction, and that allows you to keep going.
You have to act on your passion. You have to act on your inner drive. Don't let those feelings stay inside of you. You got to know what to do with them. You got to know how to make them work in order to get what you want. Don't keep it inside.
You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now.
Everybody, at one point in time in your life, to be successful, you have to jump. Jumping is the hardest thing for people to do, but you have to jump. If you never jump, you'll never be successful. When you first jump, I guarantee you the parachute ain't gonna open. I promise you that. But guess what? Eventually it does open. And then you start your glide. But it starts with the jump. You have to jump, man.
No matter how painful it is, I gotta keep going. And I gotta keep going because what is my passion? What is my focus? Your focus and your passion will numb you to failure and to pain of striving to get to where you're trying to go.
I don't accept that I am what I am and that is what I'm doomed to be. No, I don't accept that. I'm fighting. I'm always fighting. I'm struggling and I'm scrapping and I'm kicking and clawing at those weaknesses to change them, to stop them. Some days I win. Some days I don't. But each and every day, I get back up and I move forward with my fist clenched toward the battle, toward the struggle. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome those weaknesses and those shortfalls and those flaws.
So literally, without goals, you're directionless. You will be used. See, people without goals get used by other people who have them. People that don't have goals work for people who do. And so you want to be someone who picks up and gets clear about what you want. Make a list, 101 goals. I want to go to Paris. I want to, skydive. I want to bungee cord jump. I want to play the guitar. I want to learn to juggle. I want to learn 2 magic tricks for the kids. I want to go to the Olympics in Beijing. Whatever it is, make the list.
You have to delete all the negativity in the world and focus on things that make you feel great. So you could focus on a relationship you have. You could focus on how much you've already learned in the last 6 or 7 or 8 days. You could focus on the people that love you. You could focus on your ability as a human being to change your life at any moment in time.
You have to be crazy in believing what your goal and your passion is. Because when something is crazy, even though it's crazy, you still do it, right?
Every single person is designed from infancy with special talents and abilities that if you develop them to their height can enable you to accomplish anything you want in life. Everyone is genetically structured to be able to do something superbly, to do something they enjoy, to do it well, and to get great satisfaction from it.
There is no capability difference between you and someone you consider to be an ultimate role model of success. The only difference is they've learned to use their mind and body with more power on a consistent basis. They've learned to manage their state. They've learned to use their body effectively. Whether they know it or not consciously doesn't matter. A lot of people do things without being aware of how they do it. And they've learned to control their mental focus. Remember, whatever we concentrate our focus on consistently and strive to learn from and make new distinctions about, we will get great at.
I want to reassure you that you can do it. I want you to reassure you that you can make the decisions. I want to reassure you that no matter what the night, no matter what the storm, no matter what the difficulty, there isn't anybody here that can't figure it out, find some things to do, step at a time, yes. Minute at a time, yes. Day at a time, yes. Week at a time, yes. But there isn't anything you can't walk away from. There isn't any challenge you can't overcome. I want you to have that kind of belief in yourself.
You've got to believe in yourself. You just have to. And then you do it. You see it, you believe it, and then you do it.
The hard part is getting over it in the beginning. 3 weeks, it's a habit. It will be ingrained in your central nervous system if you do this every day for 3 weeks. Studies show this. The first hardest part are the first 5 days. Once you do that, once you get over that, things become really much easier for you. And then you're on this path towards greatness. The anxiety goes away, the fear goes away, the stress goes away. The hardest part about getting a ship moving is the beginning. That's where, like the NASA shuttles, the most fuel is used in that launch. That's where the most energy and effort is required. And we get caught up in the trap thinking that that's the energy required and the effort required throughout the entire process. And that's not the truth. You will adapt. It will be easier for you. But it's a matter of getting over that fear in the beginning to then get to that point where it's ingrained in your central nervous system. Then you're on autopilot. Like if you ever wrote a paper for school before and it's really hard in the beginning, you procrastinate, and you just put it off. And then it's like the night before or something that it's due, and then you just like sit yourself down and do it. And the first 15 minutes, it's like writer's block, it's hard. And then you break through. And then it's like you're on autopilot after a while. And it's like, where are these thoughts coming? It's just unbelievable how the brain works. And you're like, you're writing a million miles a minute. It's like thoughts that you never even thought of before are just coming out. I know this has happened to you. And then you have to almost pull yourself away because you have to go to bed to get some sleep because you're just like on this path. And that's how life is. Once you get involved in something, it just goes on autopilot to where you start thinking of like really elaborate stuff, higher level stuff that beginner people who are outside do not experience, So from the outside, they look at these successful people and they're like, how do they do this? I don't understand how they're able to do this. And of course you don't, because you never immersed yourself in that process.